right there. 80% of you guys want to see me tear the Cherokee the rest of the way down before I convert it to a camper rig. So today, we're dropping the gas tank. Let's go. To start out with, when you mess with a crusty rig like this thing, always wear your safety glasses. Well, technically, if you're under any vehicle, you should be wearing safety glasses. But this thing is rusty. Yeah, look at that. Yuck. Let me show you guys something I found. Look, right there. That's the return fuel line. At one time, I thought about making a wheeling rig out of this thing. But, yeah, not gonna happen. This thing's just too much crap going on with it. So, today, we're removing the fuel tank. First thing you want to do, see those two rusty, crusty clamps? Take them off and get the vent hose and the filler hose off. Now here's a connector for your fuel pump and your fuel gauge and stuff. Just disconnect it, little tab right here. You'll squeeze it, pull it apart. Well, I've gotten one of them off. That clamp right there, I want to cut the clamp. It's stripped, it's so rusted and crusty and stuff. The worm screw isn't gripping that. I'm allowing it to back off enough for me to get that hose off. That one I've got it off, as you see, but the hose is falling apart. Good thing I'm not going to replace them. And that right there, just that hose on the edge of it is falling apart, crumbling. This had to be a northern rig at one point. I ain't never seen this much rust from even a Tennessee rig. But like I said, it's been a camper. I'm going to build a camper trailer out of it, so I really don't care. So now we're going to take these off, 14 millimeter, and so far they're being cooperative. But at any point in time, as I'm taking that bolt off, or that nut off that stud, or what that hanger, whatever you're going to call it, if it gets difficult, chop, I'm cutting it. I kind of, sort of want to keep all this right here, so I'm definitely going to put my batteries back here. My battery, my inverters, and all that stuff. It's definitely going to be behind the rear axle to try to take some of the tongue weight off. So if I have to cut them, I will, because I'm not a person for patience. If I have to fight something too much, I'll cut it and just buy new ones. But if I can save it, I will, because I'm going to keep the straps and maybe whatever happens with the hanger to build me a box or something back here to hang my batteries and stuff. So there's that one. Take them off, 14 millimeter, and the tank should start dropping as you loosen them up. Just love rust. Oh, yuck. Had a big old dirt ball fall off the top of the tank, hit me right upside the head. But I got my safety glasses on. Yeehaw. I don't know where to hide now. Stuff falling out of the top of this thing. What kind of mercy, I can't hide from junk. Alright, give it on the side, see what happens. There we go. Now on the passenger side, I've still got the strap hanging there. Okay, I've got the fill hose off. The vent hose is being a pain because that clamp right there, the worm screw, is so rusted out that it's not turning the band part itself. And I tried to push it off with a screwdriver. The hose is so brittle, it just kind of falls apart. So I'm just going to get me a knife up here and cut that vent tube off, say the heck with it, because none of that stuff's going back in anyway, being that I'm making an Overlander camping rig out of this thing. I'm just trying to get it shelled out. I put my phone there so it would be out of the way and not get stuff all over it. And look, I had dirt balls falling out of the wheel wells hitting it. Yep. we go. Yeah, me spitting and hacking, you guys have been familiar with this. As you can see, we got the driver's side strap dropped. We got the big floor jack holding the tank up. And the passenger side tank strap is still holding it up on that side, but I've only got maybe another inch or two before it starts dropping. So whenever I get over there and loosen that one up, it's going to allow the tank to come on down, but the jack is going to support the weight, because I really have no idea how much gas is in it. I haven't checked. But I just do know that, you know, the jack will take care of the business and I ain't got to worry about it. So, now I do know that once I start lowering it, the vents up top in the fuel lines is on the fuel pump up there is going to want to catch it, support it, stuff like that. But I can deal with that once the tank gets down low enough to catch all that. So, passenger side, loosen that strap, let the tank ride on down. Sometimes when you've got those bolts are so rusted and junk all over them, you may have to tap your socket on a little bit. And there she is. At this point, I should be able to lower my jack and the tank will come down with it to an extent to my fuel lines and vent lines and stuff like that up top, prevent it from going any further. But then I can address it once it gets down low enough. How many of y'all flinched thinking the tank was about to fall on you? They're right up inside there. You can see there's the fuel pump, the vent lines, and the fuel pressure and return line and stuff. I'm going to go under it, look around for a moment before I drop it the rest of the way down, make sure there's not something catching that's going to prevent me from dropping it the rest of the way. I'll be back. So the tank is kind of actually falling back on itself. Right there's the plug. It was draped over the tank right there, and I pulled it across. The vent is pretty much all it's holding at the moment for balance wise. No, the pressure line right there's got some tension on it. So they pop that tension line off there. I mean a pressure line. So just about there. So the last shot you see the tank was kind of sitting like this is because this thing is probably about half full of gas. It stinks. I mean old stinky gas. So when I went ahead and let the jack on down, the tank came down, leveled out on the jack, so it was all good. So now I get it out here, I'll show you how to disconnect the fuel lines. I don't care because this thing's going to be converted to an old camper rig, so I just simply cut that sucker and dragged it out of there. I said a moment ago this was a vent line. It's not. It's actually the return line. So what you do, look real close at the connector. You got here and here. Okay? Super simple. Take your finger here, push them all the way in until you touch that metal tube down inside there. Push them both all the way in. And there you go. Really easy. Now when you go to put your tank back in or whatever it is you want to do, you can leave that clip on there like this right here and simply take this, line up these tabs with these windows, push, boom, lock right back in place. And again, just for demonstration, look, right there, take your fingers like this, push in, and pull the hose. Really easy. Now for the tow hitch, I'm going to leave it in place simply because I can use that to make some form of accessory rack to come out and pass the bumper. As far as putting a spare tire and stuff, probably what I'm going to do is make me another rear bumper and do a swing out tire carrier just like if it was a Wheeling XJ or something. For one, they'll give a good video for you guys how to fabricate your own rear bumpers and stuff, and swing out tire carrier. But I know my spare will be hanging out here, so whatever I make for the accessory to go beside there, I have to come out up and past the spare. I keep wanting to say kayak racks, but the kayak rack's gonna be up on top of the rig. So I don't know. I'll figure out something. I'm just gonna leave it in place. If any of y'all have any cool ideas I can put in that tow hitch right there to make for camping or some kind of accessory rack or something, drop it down in the comments. Give me some ideas. My YJ behind me. It's actually pretty good shape right now, so it's ready to go wheeling. I'm just looking for a good day off to go do it. And if you need to, the tank straps, you can pick them up like this right here, twist them, and bring them right out. Because what you got is that little T-shape right there. That's what hooks up inside that hole that holds it all in place. And then your bolts are simply just hooks. As you can see, like that right there. Now my fuel lines are still hanging out right there. I need to cut the rest of that junk out. I wanted the tank out so I could see what I had to work with underneath here. So my batteries, my inverter is going to be hanging in the belly here somewhere. I just have to figure all that stuff out at some point. Now when I finally get this thing completely shelled out, I'm going to take the front doghouse off of it, cut the front frame horns, then frame in my trailer tongue up front. And at that point I'll have a shelled roller, I guess you might say. And there's a couple of options here in town that I can probably take you to have it weighed. I want to know what the weight of the rig is. You know, the trailer as it'll be, camper trailer as it'll be, with nothing inside of it. And at that point, I'm going to order what you call crane scales. Crane scales is where you can hang it from in my case, probably my engine puller. I'll hang it from an engine puller, then I'll hang it on the front of the tongue, and then I'll see what the tongue weight is. And as I do the build, I'm going to say, when I hang my batteries back here, I'm going to weigh my batteries first and say, okay, my batteries are 100 pounds, just to pull a number out of the air. I'll hang them back here, which then I know my base weight of a shelled rig plus 100 pounds. I'll keep up with it mathematically like that. And also, if I hang the batteries on the rear bumper side of the rear axle, that should, by a little bit, help my tongue weight up front. Me telling you guys this right now as part of the camper build is because there's a lot of questions out there from people who are thinking about doing this camper style rig out of an XJ. Is tongue weight, overall weight, all this stuff. No one that I have found on YouTube has documented all this stuff. I am going to document this so you will have those answers as you need them. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't, because if you're interested in building one of these Overlander, XJ camper builder rigs, whatever, you'll have the answers you need to know whether your rig can tow it or not. So everyone, if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, leave us cool comments down below, and I appreciate you hanging out. Peace. Later, y'all.